Evening, Mrs. Clever.
Hello, Willie. Is he still at it?
Oh, since early morning, ma'am.
Paul? You take every known award for civility, Paul. Do you know that? You promised you'd be ready. Look, I brought your evening clothes to save you the trip home to change. We are half an hour late already. Paul, I've so looked forward to this.
Not now.
Paul.
Look, why all this fuss about a bloody annual dance? Anybody think you were 16? It was your first coming out party.
All right. How long is it since we went...
Oh, can't you get it into your thick head? The regimental dinners, cocktail parties, bridge afternoons do not take priority over my work.
What about us? Where do we come in your list of priorities?
Do you have to make it personal? All right, if it means that much to you, then you don't need me. George will be there. All the attention you need. So why don't you just buzz along?
there. Now, wasn't that fun? What?
You're far too modest.
I'm not modest at all. Here, there she is, all in one piece. What's that then?
I know what it is.
Oh, the gorilla. Yeah. No, I don't think that's for me. But the first old-fashioned waltz, right?
Promise?
Absolutely.
The next old-fashioned
Yes,
waltz.
ma'am. Hello, George.
Hello, hello.
Oh.
No need to ask if you're enjoying
Yeah,
yourself.
fellow, my collar's choking me and my shoes are pinching, but this is the life, absolutely the life.
Well, what do you take, please?
I'll have a brandy, please.
2 brandies, please, huh? Now, what did I tell you? Isn't it better for me to have got you in on this than leave you at home working at... What is it you do? Peering through microscopes, looking for fingerprints?
Oh, I'm giving all that up. From now on, it's exhibition ballroom dancing.
Ah, Carol. How beautiful you look.
Thank you.
Do you know Adam Strange? This is Carol Weber.
Hello, how nice to
Paul's
meet
wife.
you.
Oh, Harry, gin and tonic for Mrs. Weber. No ice. Oh, where is Paul?
Oh, he's working overtime.
Oh, don't tell me I'm that much of a slave driver. You know, Paul works for me at the plant. I'm very lucky to have his talent and devotion. And the least I can do in his absence is to see that his wife has the first dance with a reasonably decent time. Forgive us, Anna.
Strange. Hello, Priscilla.
I'm looking for George Halliday, do you know?
Yes, hello. Why? Something gone wrong? Yeah, he's,
Doesn't it always happen? The moment you get on the dance floor, the music stops.
George, there's a friend of mine here wants to see you. This is Inspector Purcell of Scotland Yard.
Oh,
George
how-
Halliday.
How do you do?
I'm sorry to break in like this, sir, but I'm afraid there's been an accident to your plant.
Oh, what sort of accident?
Fatal accident. Explosion. One of your employees has been killed.
Well, who was it?
Mr. Paul Weber.
Now, Mrs. Weber, this will be as brief as it is unfortunately necessary. I'm going to ask you to identify a few items here, and I want you to tell me, please, if they belong to the deceased, your late husband. That ring, which was found on the small finger left hand of the deceased, was that your husband's?
Yes.
And that belt buckle, rather an unusual style, was the deceased wearing that sort of buckle yesterday evening?
Yes.
Thank you, Mrs. Weber. That'll be all. There's no need for you to remain if you'd rather leave, Mrs. Weber.
Thank you.
I'm afraid, Mr. Halliday, that you won't be able to leave just yet.
Oh, Adam.
I'll take it, of course.
If you'd take that chair, please. Now, Mr. Halliday.
Here, let me help you. That looks rather heavy.
Thank you. I feel all right now.
Good.
I'm sorry it took so long.
I'll forgive you, especially as you've got my favorite biscuits here. What do you want there?
Do you take milk and sugar?
Please, yes. Aren't you going to have any?
No, no, thank you. I don't feel like it. Did you know Paul well back in the army days?
No, I didn't know him at all well, really. We were a funny old outfit, all broken up and scattered. I was sent to North Africa and then to Burma. Halliday was in the Balkans.
Paul, he was in North Africa.
Yes, I know he was. It's a big place, and we never actually met up. Yeah, you're cold, aren't you? What's around you there?
It's the suddenness, the suddenness. 12 years, and it's all over in an instant. There come to you and they say, Mrs. Webber, there's been an accident.
Yes, I know what it's like. But there are small comforts, if you can find them. I mean, you discover friends, for one thing, people you never even thought were friends. They write to you or they phone up and they say, we're so sorry, and if there's anything at all we can do, inadequate words, but they mean it. It's from the heart.
Oh, excuse me.
Hello, Karen. Feeling better?
Yes, I'm fine.
Hello, Adam. Thank you
George.
for bringing up, eh?
No.
Well, it was all over pretty quickly after you left.
The verdict?
Accidental death. Oh, by the way, the coroner would like you to sign this and send it back to him.
What is it?
It's the verdict. Your acceptance of it.
You must have a lot of things to talk about. I'll push off now. Goodbye, George.
Thanks again.
Goodbye, and thank you very much for being so
No,
kind.
nothing. And if there's anything I can do, anything at all. Inadequate, but I do mean it.
Thank you. I don't understand this, not any of it. Oh, help me.
I always have. I always shall. You know that.
Oh, George.
Darling.
Hey, Adam. Hey, you don't mind me doing a little picnicking, huh?
Help yourself. There's a toaster in the kitchen, you know.
Yeah, I know. I blew it.
Oh. Didn't use your scientific talent to repair it, I
Well,
suppose.
actually, it's added taste on the Bunsen. Charring. Rumored to be better for your digestive tract. There's some mail for you.
What do you mean mail? It's bills, the telephone bill and the gas. Hey, steady with that, Bunsen. You don't need all that flame. And there's a letter for you, too.
For me, I didn't notice any.
Yeah, how come my address? You're not thinking of moving in here, are you?
No, it's from Donna Lombard, Duluth, right?
Yeah, that's right, Donna Lombard.
Yeah, she's one girl I don't want knowing where I am at a given time.
Mr. Adam Strange?
That's right, yes.
Oh, this is for you.
Oh, thank you. Anything to sign?
No, sir, that won't be necessary.
Okay, hold on. It's for you.
Thank you, sir.
It's a tape. Funny. There's no note, there's no message. Could you interrupt your carbon diet and plug that in for me? Thanks.
All it needs is just a little touch of cinnamon.
What you'll need is a little touch of stomach pump, my boy. Let's see what this is. Oh, I know what that is. That is someone trying to communicate with us from an outer galaxy.
I think someone's trying to put you on, Adam.
Yeah? Let's hear it again.
Well, it's a voice, but it must have been recorded at a slower speed. Unless they're chipmunks.
Yeah, or it could have been re-recorded from another tape. And there are other sounds jumbled over it, you hear?
Could have been made on a synthesizer. Electric sounds computerized.
Well, if it's someone trying to get a message over to us, they're going a funny way about it. And we haven't got the means to unscramble it. Come in, Evie.
You're a darling.
Huh? Oh, thank you.
And so are you.
What, both of us, just like that, in that order?
No, simultaneously.
After you're through spreading it around, baby, you mind explaining the affection?
I mean, I didn't even drop a hint. I may be acquisitive, but I'm not greedy.
No, you're just a typical girl next door.
Oh, come on, Evie, what's this all about?
Well, why are you both being so bashful? I only wanted to say thank you. It's absolutely beautiful, really.
My goodness, it is, isn't it? But I'm afraid I didn't give it you.
Not me, baby.
But totally daft. A boy just came and delivered it.
In that?
Yes.
What sort of a boy? Dark,
Well, you were
blue
with
jeans?
Blue jeans, yes. Oh, well. It's a nice present while it lasted.
Well, someone is trying to intrigue me, that's obvious.
And is obviously succeeding.
Hello? Well, aren't you going to sign it, darling?
I can't.
It's a legitimate verdict, Carol. Accidental death. He's dead. Paul Weber is finally dead.
How did it happen, George? How did it happen?
Read the report. There was an explosion.
Explosion, but I didn't take the...
The bomb? All right, say it. We've said it often enough, haven't we?
You said it. We've planned it, but I didn't take it.
Neither did I. Look, darling, I didn't do it, you didn't do it. It was an accident that served us. Look, sign it, please. It's the last step.
If he ceased to exist,
He doesn't exist.
if there was an accident,
And there was.
if only we'd say. Wasn't any more than that. Was just words. Just words.
And now it's happened. Our words were heard.
Heard? By whom? Same way we'd planned, the same night. It's too much of a coincidence. There's something wrong.
There's nothing wrong. It was an accident. Neither of us is guilty of anything. Everything's going to be all right. Now sign it. Sign it, Carol.
Mrs. Paul Weber?
Yes. Who is it?
Dominion Valet.
Oh,
Could you sign that, please?
yes. Thank you.
Who was it?
One garment pressed and clean. Oh, yes, it's Paul's. So what? He sent it to the cleaners and it's come back. So what, Carol?
The boy asked for Mrs. Weber. It's on the ticket, Mrs. Paul Weber.
Oh, so you must have sent it.
I didn't.
Well, you must have. You're upset. You've forgotten.
I've forgotten nothing. I didn't take it to any cleaner. Don't you understand? I took it to Paul
When?
last night
Where?
at the plant. I took it to him.
The plant? You didn't tell me you'd been to the plant.
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Oh, George, is it important?
No, but it was pretty odd, wasn't it? That night of all nights. The night we talked about. I thought it was only words, Carol. If only, if only. What did you do?
Nothing. It was just that afternoon I was going over what we'd planned and I suddenly thought of Paul and I wanted to make it up to him for even thinking those thoughts
And what about me? How was I supposed to fit into things suddenly?
I was thinking of my husband for a change. Is that so awful? I'm sorry. I'm confused. Sorry. And now this. Who could have sent it?
The dry cleaners.
Why?
Because someone sent it to him to be cleaned and he sent it back.
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't.
All right. You're confused and upset. We'll talk about it later. You must get some rest. And I must get back.
Oh, no. Please don't leave me. I'm frightened.
Darling, I must.
I love you. You know that.
Now, don't worry. There must be some perfectly simple and logical explanation. There's nothing whatever to worry about. All right?
All right.
auctioned, broken up and...
Yeah, I can hear.
I'm sorry. Broken up and auctioned a few months ago.
Part of a collection that's been auctioned?
Yeah.
Who to?
Any one of a dozen big jewellery firms. Boothby's handled the sale. So now what?
Get hold of the auctioneer, see if he remembers the piece and which jeweller bought it.
Right.
And if you want to get in touch with me... Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Hey, you had him. Wild, huh?
No, I mean the silence. 0 decibels. Peace, perfect peace.
If you're referring to infinity attenuation, man, I can do without it.
Adam Joey Benjamin, Adam Strange.
Hello, Joy. Tell me, what was that you were playing just now?
Total environment.
Huh?
Beautiful.
Original soundtrack for a science fiction movie, Ellipses on a Social Paradise.
Paradox.
Oh, sorry, Paradox. Joey wrote it himself.
How'd you do it? You put some plugs in and pull them out again?
Right, that's just how it's done.
And what would you call that? Music or...
Labels are a hang-up, man. I mean, why call it anything?
Yeah, you've got a point there. Well, what have you music lovers found out?
Well, first of all, we got it down to about the right speed.
There's a voice there, but I can't make it out.
It's been jammed, that's why.
Yeah?
Well, the sound's outside the human speech frequency. We put it through background suppressors and filters, cut out almost all the interference. You're still with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Beautiful. Let's hear it again.
No, don't cut it.
No, I want to pin it down to the exact natural pitch.
What's that little sound in the background?
Something I couldn't suppress. I don't know what it is.
Adam Strange. He's perfect. We'll use Adam
That
Strange.
voice.
Of course, Adam Strange. He's
I know that
perfect.
voice.
Use Adam Strange.
It's George Halliday.
Who? Who did you say?
The insurance assessor.
Now, what is all this, Inspector? The inquest established that the explosion was an accident, so what about the insurance assessor? And what's all this about a delay? What delay?
On your claim, for one thing. The fact is, your insurance company's assessor has reported a suspicion of arson.
What?
Which brings us into it, too, to check his findings. Nothing conclusive, sir, just indications. But we have to check them, and until we do...
Well?
Well, we have to ask the coroner's office not to release the body of Mr. Weber for burial.
Is that correct, sir? Okay, sir.
Adam?
Hello, George. You're the very chap I wanted to see.
I wanted to see you, too. I just heard they're delaying the burial on Paul Weber.
Why are they doing that?
I don't know. The insurance assessor seems to have asked for it. Post-mortem, I suppose?
Oh, well, they always ask for post-mortems. You must have a sizable claim on them.
Oh, I couldn't care less about the claim. It's Carol I'm thinking about. What's he going to do to her?
Yeah. No, it's difficult, of course. Still, I'm sure she
I've
understands.
just been trying to help her with the funeral arrangements. Now it looks as if she'll have to delay everything and then go through it all again as soon as they say it's okay.
Oh, well, it's probably just a matter of routine. I mean, they're entitled to cross-check everything and even called for an autopsy.
What's the point of having an inquest? Isn't the coroner's verdict good enough?
George, you know as well as I do that these local coroners do all they can to save time and money over autopsies, but if an assessor gets whiff of anything even faintly irregular...
Irregular? Like what?
Well, like nothing in all probability. I'm just saying that if an assessor reports anything suspicious, the police are pretty well bound to investigate.
You know, Adam, you're beginning to sound like their public relations officer. Now, look, chum, can't you help us? You're wired into Scotland Yard. You've got friends. Couldn't you get them to reverse this and see that poor old Paul is decently buried without all this fuss? Try, Adam. Even if it's only for her sake.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Adam. Come on, let's get off into town.
Are you in a rush?
Oh, blasted conference. I could do without that at the moment. Oh, is there was something you wanted to see me about?
No, that's all right. I just wanted to have a look around.
Thank you, madam. Goodbye. Oh, yes, madam?
I'm Mrs. Webber, Mrs. Paul Webber.
Oh, of course. Oh, is there something wrong with the cleaning at the service?
There's been a mistake.
Mistake? But this is your husband's, is it not?
Well,
It's the same dress suit you brought in here the other day, madam. There's no question about that.
but I didn't bring it in. I've never been here before in my life.
Well, I beg your pardon, Mrs. Webber, but you most certainly have. The day before yesterday.
No, look, it must have been some other woman. It must have been someone else.
But it was you, Mrs. Webber. Don't you remember? I was in the rear having a bit of lunch. You came in with this suit. You begged pardon for interrupting me. Well, I said I didn't mind. My life is one long interruption.
No, look,
anyway,
please, why are you saying all this? You know it isn't true. Why are you saying this? Why are you doing this?
But it was you, Mrs. Webber. Why, you even left your suitcase.
Moxie?
Hello, Adam.
Purcell?
Strange.
Thank you for laying on this autopsy for me.
Oh, you're welcome. So, Halliday was in a bit of a flap, was he?
Oh, I'll say he was, yes. Wanted me to use my influence to get on with the burial as quickly as possible.
And naturally, you initiated the opposite.
With the inspector's grudging consent, yes.
Oh, not so grudging. It's just that sometimes I like to be allowed to do a little initiating of my own.
So, what have you found out, Moxie?
Well, something rather basic. This chap, Paul Webber, he was dead before the accident.
What?
What was the cause of death?
Well, that I shall have to find out. It was too late to ascertain the exact time of death. I examined the lungs and the air passages. No trace of common monoxide. Should have been there if he were alive. Adam, you knew this chap, Paul Webber, didn't you?
Well, I didn't know him well. We were in the same outfit in the war, but I didn't know him at all, hardly.
Well, his luck didn't hold out during the war, did it?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look. His left calf, atrophied. Over half an inch. Strong indication there was something wrong with the spine, lower lumbar region. So I took some pictures. I expected a disc herniation, quite common. However, this is what I saw. Come and have a look.
Good heavens.
Now, fancy having that in your back for all these years. Very near the main column. Another quarter of an inch, and he would have been a paraplegic at the very least. Poor chap. He must have suffered terrible pain the last few years.
What is it?
I'll show you. I went in and I came up with this.
Shrapnel.
That's right, shrapnel.
Oh, that's quite a chunk. Heavy gauge.
Now, what are the chances of identifying it?
You're kidding.
No, seriously. Caliber, gauge, constituents.
Listen, next thing you'll ask me is the name of the German that fired it.
No, I know that. His name was Schmidt. He was an Oberleutnant with red hair and difficulty pronouncing his S's.
Adam, there's 25 years of oxidation on this. He'll probably need an acid bath.
Well, damn the oxidation. Full speed ahead, or words to that effect. I'll be in touch.
Hey, Adam! Adam!
Yes?
Hey, you mind telling me what it's all about?
Come back.
Oberleutnant Schmidt.
Do you remember it?
If only you'd come to us first, madam. This is your 5th stop, you said?
15th.
Should have come to Alfred Barrett before the others.
You do remember it?
Yes, I think I can help you. Forgive me for asking, but what size boot do you wear?
Boot?
7?
6.5.
Width?
Very narrow.
Very narrow, excellent. I think my cousin Charles could help you. Or Carlo, as he calls himself now, after his training in Verona.
What training? What are you talking about?
Shoemakers. Oh, my cousin is a superb, indeed fantastic artist in that much underrated craft. Well, he fitted these for me. See?
I just want to know if you remember who you sold that pendant to. Do you?
Yes, I do. He wanted it engraved, I remember, and then changed his mind.
Who?
Here we are. To C from G with love. A Mr. George Halliday.
Yes, I can verify it, Inspector. I was chairman of the reunion committee. I had to be at the club early.
Mm-hmm. And Mrs. Weber joined you at what time?
Why are you dragging all this up again, Inspector? What is the point of these questions?
I'm just trying to deal with the facts, sir. One fact, a new fact, is that the insurance company investigators have discovered a timing device for an explosive charge.
In Paul's lab?
Yes, in Paul Weber's lab. Now...
What is it, Miss Hands? Tell him I'll ring back later.
It's very urgent, sir.
Later, Miss Hands, later.
Now, Mrs. Weber went to the plant to visit her husband at approximately 6 o'clock last evening.
Well, it's extremely urgent.
I'm sorry, but he's not here.
I see. Well, would you ask him to phone me the moment he gets back?
Yes, Mrs. Weber.
Thank you.
Hello. Have I come at a bad moment?
Oh, no.
You sure?
No, please come in.
Oh, well, I won't keep you a second.
I've just closed this.
Oh, Peter, it's lovely. I just dropped by to see if I could help over this new unpleasantness.
I don't understand.
Well, the autopsy, the delay over the funeral.
Autopsy? On Paul? What are they looking for?
Oh, something to do with an insurance claim, I expect. You know, which came first, the fire or the explosion, that sort of thing.
Why can't they leave him alone?
The long arm of bureaucracy, it reaches beyond the grave. Hey, that's a nice photograph, isn't it? Is that a recent one?
Yes, really.
Tennis, eh? He kept pretty active, didn't he, considering?
What do you mean?
Well, I thought Paul had been wounded. Wasn't
Paul?
he hit in the back or leg or...
No. Paul
Really?
wasn't wounded.
Oh, well, you should know. Oh, well, I must have been muddling him up with somebody else.
Adam, I hope you won't think I'm very rude, but I do have another appointment.
Yes, of course. Can I give you a lift?
No, I must make a phone call first.
You were saying?
I was saying I must make a phone call first, so I won't keep you.
Yes, well, I'll be on my way. Can I get out here?
Yes, there's a side door.
And if I can help at all, you know where to find me. Bye now.
George.
Is that you, Adam?
No, it's not me. I mean, it's not Adam. I mean, it's me. Then again, why should it be me? I mean, who am I?
What do you think of this?
I'm just the bird across the hall with the endless legs. That's who. Check every jeweler who bought at Boothby's, he says. Do you know how many that is?
Hey, how did you make out with that pendant? Do you got any names, anything?
George Halliday, naturally, and don't change the subject. I'm getting tired of being legwork Lily while you get all the cushy jobs around here.
Listen, legwork Lily. What do you think of this?
It's gorgeous. You're here in this nice, warm place, and I'm killing myself out there. I even have to listen to lectures about what style boot I should wear.
What do you think it is?
I've covered London from Brixton to Shepherd's Bush.
What could it be, Evie?
It's Oriental. In one shop, out another.
Oriental.
Bonded messenger service.
Oriental.
It's part of a Chinese character. I painted some menus for your friend Li Fu, remember? It's got that kind of look. anyway. It's all got to stop. Halt, desist right now.
Evie, just shut up for a minute and get me a book on Oriental languages from up there.
You see? You're doing it again.
I'm sorry, I meant to say shut up a minute and help me find a book on Oriental languages. Evie!
Aye.
Hello, you lot. How you doing? Evie?
Adam, I found something on the shrapnel.
Yeah, what you got? Take a look. Can't see a thing. You're in the dark. Yeah, there's a mark there.
Yeah, here, I reproduced it on paper.
That's it. What is it? Looks like a J.
Oh, it's a figure, half of one. Here's the other half.
What's that?
Raku, Japanese for 6.
Japanese?
Japanese. So, our German friend turns out to be an Oriental. Weber must have been wounded in the Pacific.
This is crazy. Weber was never within 1,000 miles of the Pacific. And what's more, Weber was never wounded.
Mr. Halliday's office?
Is he in?
Mrs. Weber?
Yes. Is Mr. Halliday there?
No, I'm sorry. He left a little while ago.
Didn't you give him my message?
Oh, yes, I did, but he's been terribly busy.
Oh, it's all right, thank you.
Hello, darling. Oh, I frightened you. Oh, forgive me, darling. Here. Hey, you're trembling. I did frighten you. I'm so sorry. You know, my darling, what you need is a drink. I had to dash off to the Midlands last night. A couple of our cultures went sour. Oh, but George will have told you. Didn't even have time to pack a spare shirt. Oh, by the way, sorry about the reunion. How was it? Fun? You know, Carol, I've been thinking about our relationship. What you said about my civility. I've been monstrous, haven't I? I've been married to the laboratory. Hasn't been a relationship. It's been one-sided. Treated you like dirt. Treated everyone like dirt. Even George. After him taking me in, giving me a new laboratory, letting me have a free hand. To have a friend like George, and not to prize him. Not to realize how special a thing like friendship is. What I'm trying to say, my darling, is I'm turning over a new leaf. Work, yes, but not to the exclusion of living, of loving.
Oh, Paul, we thought you were dead.
I killed Paul Weber. I killed him, and that's it.
Estelle? George? What's going on here?
I want you to hear this, Strange. Mr. Halliday has made a statement. Okay? Tell me again exactly what happened at your plant. You killed Paul Weber. How? How, sir?
I concealed a delayed action device in his laboratory.
When was that?
Late last evening.
Where?
In a kit, a first aid kit which I hid in a cabinet.
Your motive?
I loathed the man. I despised him for what he'd done to his wife all these years. He tortured her, ill-treated her.
And Carol, did she loathe him too?
What are you dragging Carol into this for, Adam? She had nothing to do with it. I killed him.
I doubt that. I doubt it very much.
I killed him, I tell you.
As far as I can make out, nobody killed Paul Weber.
What's that, Strange?
What are you talking about?
The dead body is not Paul Weber's.
I was a stranger. A stranger to you, to myself, to everyone. All these years, wrapped up in my own little world. Solitary,
Paul,
selfish.
Paul, there was an explosion. They found someone.
Well, yes, it wasn't me, was it? I mean, here I am.
But we thought it was you. Don't you understand? I mean, there was an autopsy. The funeral.
Oh, poor Carol, my poor darling. Now, look, you mustn't think about any of that. Let's just talk about life.
Stop it.
A new
Stop
life.
it.
No, you must listen. Look, on this little trip, something happened, important to us. I had this dream. It's terrifying. A nightmare. I woke up in a sweat, convulsion. It was as if the devil had touched my mind. See, I dreamed that you were with someone. This man. You must listen. See, I dreamed that I caught the two of you together here in this room. I couldn't help myself. I had to go on watching you, spying on you, here, all those other places. And to make quite sure that I didn't miss a thing, I had this microphone. It was the tiniest thing, but so alive, so bright. And I hid it here in this room so that I could catch every word. It's ridiculous, isn't it, this dream? You know, it even had you and he thinking up a scheme to murder me. Terrifying dream, yet so real. And yet not so real. It's confusing, isn't it, my love? The pale borderline between what we imagine and what is so. What is real, my love? Answer me. What is real?
Paul, don't.
Because if any of this ever touched upon reality. But then I was always one step ahead of you, wasn't I? Both of you. But don't worry about this. Does it really exist? And that bomb you both talked about, that imagination? I know it was only a wish, but I helped you fulfill that wish, didn't I, my darling? For you and for him. Well, that left me with only one problem to deal with. How? How, I ask myself, give them their wish and yet remain behind to see them enjoy it? The answer, my darling, was surprisingly simple. Find another me. You'll be surprised how easy it is for someone on my business to find a body for research. Dream research.
He's got to be dead. He's got to be. For heaven's sake, Adam, we...
Yes? We? Go on, George. Who's we? It's you and Carol, am I right? You were both together in this. You were planning to murder Weber.
I tell you, Carol had nothing to do with it.
And?
This pendant, we traced it from G to C with love.
Oh, nonsense. That pendant never had anything written on it.
Only because you changed your mind. Alfred Barrett, jeweler, 91 Curzon Place.
I also have in my possession a tape. A recording of your voice. The words, "We will use Adam Strange."
I don't know what you're talking
That
about.
tape was recorded in the Weber's house. Now, presumably you weren't talking to yourself, so who were you talking to? Carol!
I don't understand. I promise you I don't know what you're talking about.
They be playing tricks. You were planning with Carol Weber to murder her husband, and I was going to be part of your plan. Induce me to go to that army reunion. Be with me at the exact moment of death. What a marvelous alibi. Now, am I right? I say, am I right?
Yes.
So what happened?
We couldn't go through with it. It was a monstrous thought from the beginning. We couldn't go through with it.
All right, I believe you. That's the truth. You didn't do it. But you believed that Carol might, and so you came here to confess and to protect her. Yeah, but you could have saved your trouble, George, because Carol didn't do it either.
No?
No! Why would she lay a trap for you? And that's what somebody's done, and you walked right into it. Someone who hates your guts.
But who? Weber.
If you want to kill me, well, do it.
I will. In time. As I said before, there's no hurry.
What are you waiting for?
For him. What else? Who else? For him, Carol. He will come, won't he? Now that I've gone. To console you, to be with you. Dear George, good old George, my patron, my best friend. Does he have his own key? Or will he just knock and wait for you to let him in? No, correction. Wait for me to let him in. Because you see, my dear Carol, the moment I hear him, you will be lying on the floor over there, and he, when all is said and done, will be lying beside you. This gun in his hand, having shot you, and then himself. For some secret private guilt that has passed between you. since my passing. End of dream.
You're sick, Paul, so sick.
No, I'm dead, Carol, remember? Beyond all pain, feelings of guilt, remorse of any kind.
You're quite mad. And you've driven me mad. 12 years. I've been dying for 12 years. So if you want to kill me, well, shoot me. I don't care. I don't care.
Come back. Carol! Come back here. You can't do anything to me. I'm dead. I'm dead.